Hey you guys, how's it going? Kim Schaper here. Today we're going to be talking about specific and very common female hormone imbalances, as well as 3 specific hormones you need to know if you are a female to help regulate your hormone balance and get the best life possible. Our first hormone imbalance is estrogen dominance. This one's very common, especially if you have lower levels of progesterone, you're under an immense amount of stress, or you're dealing with lots of toxins in your body as well as in your environment. So excessive estrogen is usually from lowered levels of progesterone. Everybody's different here, but progesterone is the #1 hormone that's going to drop when you're under massive amounts of stress. Estrogen dominance can cause sleep disturbances, weight gain, especially in the stomach, butt, and thighs. It can cause excess cellulite, as well as more mood swings, higher perceived sense of stress, all of those things. Hormone imbalance would be PCOS, otherwise known as polycystic ovarian syndrome. This is very common in women today, usually women who have higher levels of insulin, lower progesterone, higher levels of testosterone, and therefore it's going to cause things like infertility, acne, some weight gain, more androgen dominant symptoms. This is very, very common in women today. Higher risk for diabetes, excess belly fat, all of those fun and enjoyable things. Another common hormone imbalance is the disorder of testosterone production. This is very common for women who are under massive amounts of stress, which in turn is going to deplete testosterone and have more signs of low cortisol. These can lead to things like weight gain, loss of sex drive, insomnia, loss of lean muscle mass, lack of creativity, and honestly, the desire and lack of desire to do anything creative or fun whatsoever. Your motivation really just plummets. Another common one is hypothyroidism. This is more of a sluggish thyroid or low thyroid level. This is very common in a lot of women today due to their stress levels, due to their environment. Genetics plays a factor as well, and also our diet. So mineral deficiencies like zinc, selenium, magnesium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin B, all of those things. So hypothyroidism can cause lower levels of progesterone, which in turn can create more estrogen dominance type symptoms, which then can lead to things like a slower metabolism, brittle hair and nails, dry skin, hair loss, digestive issues. Hyperthyroidism can cause a lot of these symptoms. And finally, the last one I'll do today is adrenal fatigue, which I spoke about in my last video. This is often low levels of cortisol, especially in the morning upon awakening response. This is from chronic levels of high stress for a prolonged period of time. Adrenal issues can cause massive fatigue, weight gain, moodiness, exhaustion, depression, anxiety, low functioning levels, just overall feeling really exhausted and burned out. Hopefully by now you have a better understanding as far as the major hormone imbalances. And then now I kind of want to dive into 3 other hormones that are really important. These are your sex hormones. This is your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And when one of these is out of whack, it's unfortunately going to cause a whole cascade of other events to happen. I actually want to go through and highlight each one of them so you know what it does for your body and ways to really keep them balanced. So starting with estrogen, estrogen has over 400 functions in your body. You might even call estrogen the mother of your hormones. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but it's kind of true, because if you don't have enough estrogen, you're definitely going to feel like crap. When our estrogen is low, we're typically not going to be very nice. We're going to be really moody. We're going to want to bite people's heads off. So it is very important to have a proper estrogen balance, but you don't want too much. You want just the right amount. Estrogen helps regulate our body temperature. It keeps our metabolism revving. It also helps maintain our muscle, improves our sleep. Estrogen also increases our energy, our vitality, like I said, our metabolic rate. It also maintains our bone density, including strength training too, as well as collagen and elasticity in our skin. Estrogen helps reduce wrinkles, it helps reduce inflammation, it helps with Alzheimer's. And estrogen also stimulates the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which keep our brain happy and thriving for a proper mood, a proper brain function, all of that good stuff. So estrogen really comes down to having just the right amount, like I mentioned before. Here's where the problem is. The majority of women typically have a decline in progesterone. You need an equal balance, or a good ratio of both, I should say. So when women are chronically stressed, which a lot of us are, or as we age, our progesterone levels tend to drop, and that in turn tends to keep our estrogen levels higher than our progesterone, which is one of the main reasons why we deal with estrogen dominance. Our progesterone levels are often reduced right before menopause, which can cause this issue. And the kicker is, many times women will go to the doctor and say, I don't feel well, I feel like crap, I'm gaining weight, like am I going through menopause, perimenopause? And doctors will often say, yeah, it's just your age, it's just your age. But listen, you're not supposed to feel that way. I have clients who are on bioidentical hormones and they feel amazing. You really want your estrogen levels optimized. You don't want them in a depleted state. You don't want them feeling like where you are feeling like absolute poop. Estrogen dominance can cause symptoms like depression, anxiety, bloating, water retention, panic attacks, heavy periods, breast tenderness, hypothyroidism, fatigue and exhaustion, weight gain, cravings and increased appetite, uterine cancer, breast cancer. You gotta love it, right? Like I said, estrogen dominance is usually caused by a handful of things. It can be from low progesterone, it can be from your environment. You can also have excess estrogen from the birth control pill, as well as environmental estrogens like plastics, BPAs, canned goods, all of that. Number 2 is progesterone. This is a big one. I call this the queen of hormones because I think progesterone is so important for females. And like I said, it declines over age. So how can you have more progesterone? How do you know if you have low progesterone? So I can tell you when women have low progesterone, they honestly feel like they are about to lose their mind, like they're about to blow a gasket. And like I said in some of my other videos, this is typically when women are experiencing major anxiety. Progesterone is our calming hormone. So when you are deficient, you are going to have massive anxiety as well. Magnesium plays a factor in that too, but that's for a different time. But this is where women will go to the doctor and say, I don't feel well, and then they're instantly prescribed an antidepressant. But again, it's just a band-aid to the bigger issue. And when doctors are giving their clients anti-anxiety or antidepressants, like I said, they're just coding the issue and they're making the progesterone levels worse. They're not addressing the problem. And then the medications in turn can cause B vitamin deficiency, which makes our depression and anxiety even magnified. Progesterone is a hormone that's high on our food chain. Or not food chain, I should say, but it's high on our hormone chain. So when progesterone is low, it's going to instantly drop other hormones as well. And beyond your mood being an issue when it comes to low progesterone, it's also not going to be protective enough for your breast. When you do have estrogen dominance issues, you're actually going to be more prone to breast cancer. Another thing too is increased sugar intake. So when you're eating too much sugar, that is actually going to cause a decrease in progesterone levels. Low levels of vitamin B, B12, vitamin A, vitamin C and zinc can cause low levels of progesterone too. Low levels of progesterone can cause things like anxiety and depression, PMS symptoms, more heavily prone to PMS symptom, weight gain, irritability, negativity, inflammation, heavy bleeding, early onset of menopausal symptoms. So one of the best ways you can increase your progesterone is to not feel as stressed. All right, the final one is testosterone. Testosterone, women often think, oh my gosh, if I have too much testosterone, I'm gonna look like a man. That's not the case at all. Many women are really deficient in testosterone. Women who are often low in testosterone feel like they kind of lost their mojo. They don't feel as motivated. They feel more depressed. They might feel more anxious. They just feel like they don't have the oomph in their step. They often feel like they're overstressing, they feel more taxed, they feel like they're frazzled, they can't manage stress as much as they used to. And the libido is going to take a massive dip. So that's one of the telltale signs you might be struggling with low testosterone, is if your sex drive is just in the toilet. When women have enough testosterone, their sex is amazing, they feel good, they feel vibrant, they feel like they could do anything. Their motivation is much higher. When women have lower levels of testosterone, they're gonna have things like lack of motivation, more depression, fatigue, exhaustion, dry skin, confusion, dry eyes, not being able to think as clearly, loss of memory, loss of sex drive, and definitely more increased belly fat in the stomach and chest area. And even though low testosterone, you will have these side effects, high testosterone is not going to be any fun either. This can often be correlated with PCOS, but if you have high levels of testosterone, it can make you feel maybe a bit too sexual, a bit too masculine. You just might be more moody. The androgen excess for like testosterone, for instance, You'll have things like acne on your chin, on your back, as well as oily skin. You might have more hair, more rage, irritability, mood swings, and higher levels of insulin, so the fat storage hormone. All right, so question is, what do you do if you have low levels of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, or elevated levels? The thing I encourage you to do the most is to absolutely get your labs tested. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you go to a conventional doctor, they are not gonna run all these tests. They're just not. I wish they were, but they won't. So my 2 cents is find a functional medicine doctor or naturopath that you trust that can run all of these labs for you. This way you're able to get to the root so much quicker rather than trying to troubleshoot and throwing darts into the dark, figuring out yourself. I have a functional medicine team on staff. I'm super pumped with them. They're doing such a fantastic job with my clients, and I trust them explicitly. I use them as well. So if you are someone that is ready to get to the root, wants to feel better, wants to have more vibrance, have better skin, drop fat, feel leaner and tighter, and really just overall wants to improve your health and your mental well-being, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Me and my team are happy to help you. We will get to the root quick. We will order blood work for you. We do this anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're located. We can absolutely help you. Have a great day.